Chidambaranji on the dais, and we are expecting our colleague, our Finance Minister of Tamil Nadu. He's coming, he's on the way, and all the organizers of this conclave. Thank you for the invitation, and this is a very major issue which we all are discussing in one way or other way. Actually, the aspect of federalism, that is what I was expected or we were expected to speak. And this is an issue which is very much in the, which is very much a focal point now. Actually, our country is always advocating from its inception or even from the days of our freedom struggle. Cooperative federalism is the basic aspect which we were all believing. And it was like that. But when national government, the independence came, after that, many instances were there in which the federalism, the character of federalism was questioned. We were, perhaps Kerala is the first state which was affected by the dismissal of the government. In 1957, government it was there, we know. Then there were some issues which affected Tamil Nadu, many other states were there, and some constitutional cases are there. And that was a trend. Then it was something political. When you are looking into the matters, then economic, financial rights, political right, many other administrative aspects are all these areas were affecting, and now this is sharpened. And when we are looking into the financial powers, perhaps this is the most important thing, because every state needs, everywhere, every family needs financial powers. And when we are looking into the details of the financial aspects. As per the 15th Finance Commission report, the total receipts, out of the total receipts, 62.7% of the total receipts are being taken by the union government. While we look into the expenditure aspect, 62.5% of the expenditure commitments are on the shoulders of the state governments. So nearly 30% is collected by the state governments, and they have to spend 60%. And 60% is collected by the central government. This is the 15th Finance Commission report I am saying. So now, even after this report, the situation is worsening now. And the major income for the state is generally earlier sale tax. And when VAT came, value-added tax system came, the taxing powers of the states significantly it was reduced. And finally, when the GST came into force, the entire taxation powers of the state got limited only to petrol, diesel, and liquor. And I got an opportunity to be in the select committee as a member of the Rajya Sabha. We wrote a dissenting note at that time in that select committee about the GST. And many of the constituents in the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, they were asking, why you are dissenting? I represent my party, CPIM, and CPI General Secretary Comrade D. Raja was there, and one or two other parties were dissented. We said, this is not a question of money sharing. They said, oh, Kerala is a state where you are purchasing a lot of things. It's a consumer state, so you will get benefited. We said, after this, the state government budgets, finance ministers will be only finance managers. We have go to the central government with begging bowl. We need this money, and we have to distribute. This is what actually happening now. And if you look into the latest trend, the GST compensation, when it was there, there was a novel idea that GST compensation will be given by the central government for 5 years. Some criteria is there, you may be knowing. 40% was the annual growth at that time. So 14% the annual growth is there. So for the 5 years, this 14% annual growth will be assured by the central government. But during this period, COVID and other economic crisis is there. For Kerala, then many other natural calamities were there. Then COVID. And now, by this June, this compensation will be finished. Every state government in in the GST council are asking for extension of the period, when the largest contingent UP to all other states. And some are asking for the share between state and center. Now it is 50-50. You have to change it as 60-40. 60 to the states because the criteria of maximum expenses by the state government. So this is not happening, and we are fearing that from June 30th onwards, this money also will not come, and we are not achieving the target. And last year we were getting around 12,000 crores. For June, after June, we were not getting that. All other states are facing the same problem. This is one thing related to the powers. The entire power of, actually we know the nation states were formed on the basis of, basic power of nation states were taxation powers. And what was the border? Border means taxation border. Tax gates were there. Now there is no tax gates and no financial power. Then how state governments can further go? This is the picture. And the people who were advocating for the thing also practically now said this is a wrong thing. So practically this is proved that. And at the time of the discussion, I was asking to the government secretary at that time, whether USA, you are saying a place where America is having all the freedom, whether the GST type tax is there? No. America is not having a GST type tax. But India, it is introduced only for helping the free movement of goods and services by the business and corporate houses. So this is the final blow on the freedom of the states. Then the transfer of resources is also there. When you are looking into the transfer of resources, that is also the same thing. If we take, I am not taking much of the time because the time is limited. Actually, when the 10th Finance Commission was there, Kerala's share from the divisible pool, when central government is getting 100, 41 is going for states, okay, that 41%. Out of that, earlier Kerala was getting 3.875%. Now, it is at the time of 15th Finance Commission, it is reduced to 1.925, only 50%. Tamil Nadu also lost. Other states also lost. Tamil Nadu lost around, it was 6.637 earlier, and now it is 4.00. So the reduction is there. Karnataka also lost. Many other states lost. Those states which were developed, those states who were successful in containing their population, means 1971 to 2011 is the latest criteria. So population is reduced. And those who are having good health, education and other facilities, those who are having shauchalayas everywhere will not get money. Those who don't have shauchalayas, they will get money. And when all are making shauchalayas, then the other states will get. So we are facing a second generation problem, especially southern states and some other states here also. We are facing a second generation problem. The second, whether it is a wrong thing that we did maximum outlay for this development. So this is a problem. So we are losing around 20,000 crores or 15,000 crores per year. And not only this, CSS scheme is there. Earlier, 100% CSS was there, 90% was there, 60% was central government special schemes were there. Now everything is 60 and 40. Kerala would have got 3% at least, but we are getting around 1% only. All these states, developed states, are also facing this same problem because their scheme is something, ready-made schemes, it is not tailor-made. So states which are having some development in some areas are not getting this fund. There also, we were getting only 4,000 crores. Another 8,000 would have been there. So this is not only a problem, because I am representing Kerala, I know all these factors, I know all the other states. Many states are even raising this issue in the council also. So we are suggesting something to be done, is to be done. Otherwise, the hostility will not help help for the unity. Cooperative federalism, when in the parliament the discussion was going on, in the Constituent Assembly, some members, learned members asked, why sale tax is not to be taken by the central government? Dr. Ambedkar said, this is the only rudimentary powers left with the state governments. Why we are taking? So it should be with them. This was discussed and finalized at the time itself. And now, practically, whatever happened, but we have to understand this is the powers and state government cannot run like this. I can give 2 examples how this is financially affecting us. I said, from this April 1st onwards, up to June, we are getting some money. After that, there will not be any compensation. So we are expecting 9,000 crore reduction in this year. And the 15th Finance Commission gave a revenue deficit grant of 19,000 crores. Many states, it was not proportional, but we also got. But that is also for 1 or 2 or 3 years that you know. This year, we will be less by 7,000 crores. So this year, our reduction in the actuals of this year too, means yesterday was 31st March and we were spending, and after first onwards, this financial year, we were losing around 17,000 crores. Next year, the Finance Commission special grant and other grants, totally it will go. Next year, it is 32,000 crores. So a person who is getting a salary of 10,000 rupees, and next year for value addition, he needs 11,000 rupees. But actually, my employer is giving only 1,700 less because I am getting only 8,300. How I can survive? Next year, it is only 6,800. How can? Because I cannot tax anyone. I cannot make any tax. This is the issue, financial issue, which the states are facing. This is it's not only an issue for every state government is complaining like this. And the central government's expenditure, in expenditure terms, the central government is also not giving maximum money, and the taxation also, there is a trend, new trend is there. That also only I want to say that only. If we look into the taxation, when Honorable Chidambaranji was the minister, I was also a junior member of that. I was saying we were asking for many demands for Kerala at that time. He was finance minister. But at that time, taxation growth was good. That I can see some example from here. See, the divisible pool of the central government is also coming down. When from the average of 2004-5 to 2015-16, from 78,000 crore to 5 lakh was the growth of tax. So such growth was there. But when we compare that to this time, from after that, from 2015-16 to this time, up to this time, the taxation growth was only 7.8%. That is 5 lakh to 7.4 lakh. Earlier it was 19%. 19% was the growth at that time. Now it is only 7.5%. And why this is happening? Actually, many of the taxes were reduced. And even the GST, when the GST was introduced, we accept that the revenue neutral rate should be there. Means earlier tax should be there. Revenue neutral rate was around 15.5. Now it is 11%. So 1/3 of the tax which were collected earlier was reduced. And in Kerala, the department, our GST department, we had a study through the Gulati Institute. And it is found that 25 items we took. Out of the 25 items, tax were reduced, but it was not communicated, it was not transferred to the end customer. For example, I can say, fridges, the tax was higher, 28% something. Then it was reduced. Actually, the fridge price would have been reduced by 1,500 rupees, but it was not reduced. These examples are there. This is one thing. The revenue neutral rate was reduced and the benefit was not given to the consumer. So tax rates were reduced that way, helping big companies. Second thing, taxes from direct taxes to indirect taxes the government is going. Corporate taxes were reduced, income tax were reduced. So taxes were reduced. Then they are going for indirect taxes. This is directly affecting maximum consumers. Another thing also they did, that is the most focal and cruel attack on our tax system. That is the system of cess and surcharges. Cess and surcharges, there is a provision in the Constitution. Article 271 is allowing for cess and surcharge. Cess and surcharge in a special condition, on the existing tax, some more taxes can be collected. Like some emergency casualty situation, some war or something, then some surcharges without the, over and above the tax which state government is collecting, central government can collect. But here what is happening? Petroleum. The tax which says they are collecting is more than the tax of the state governments. So when a mother is giving birth to a child is small and it is small size to the mother. But here surcharge is bigger than the original tax. So a mother delivered a double size of a child is the surcharge theory which they are doing here. So this is happening. So in the last economic review, EPW, they are saying that in an article, total cess and surcharge, including GST compensation cess collected is more than 5.3 lakh in 21-22. So such a huge amount they are collecting. And what is the benefit of cess and surcharge for the central government? Cess and surcharge is not coming under the divisible pool. The entire money they can take. So this is also the infringement on the taxation rights of the states. This is what is happening. So practically, the governments, throughout the world, during this period, there is a sharp reduction in the expenditure of the central governments. But when we look into the Union Budget 2022-23, India apparently follows a budget cut. The total size of the Union Budget 22-23 is 39.4 lakh crore. And this is just 4.6% increase compared to the earlier year. And if you take the inflation, the size of the Indian budget is also less. And so this is the general thing, but when we take the case of states, we are trying to give maximum spending for the states for avoiding the COVID effect. 18% is our growth, even through amidst this situation, 18% was our increase compared to the last budget. But final point, even the state governments are not allowed to function properly because they are not allowing even for borrowing. There is a condition. 3% is the limit. So everywhere there is a budget cut in the central government budget. You discussed here from food grains to MNRE and all. I am not going into. And state government now we have to face the COVID situation. Maximum spending is there in different areas. Free vaccine for all we announced, we put money, like all we did. And we have to have money. And last year it was 4%. I'm saying about the borrowing limit. Now, this April 1st onwards, it is reduced. Around 3,500 crores we are losing. They are not allowing that also. And we should be there at 3%, they are saying. And what is the percentage of central government? Central government is 6.9%. And if you take the total borrowing, that also, central government's limit is much higher. 61% of the debt to GDP ratio of Government of India stands at 61%, and Kerala, it is 37%. So this is there, and if you take about the total budget size, Kerala's case, I can say that we are having a borrowing around 20% of the total expenditure. The central government, out of the 39 lakh crore they are spending, around 45% is borrowing. So this is the situation. So we have to discuss very seriously. I am happy that such a platform for discussing these issues are very important, because this is not a political issue. We are not politically abstaining from some forums. We have the politics of Indian people. So we have to discuss this very seriously, because adjacent to us, us and Tamil Nadu, now Sri Lanka is happening. Sri Lanka, not necessary to go into the details. That what happened there. We are also facing some of the problems. Economic breakdown will not be there. Reduction of food production. Our plantation industry totally collapsed, especially Kerala, like Sri Lanka, because of the ASEAN Accord and all. Now also new accords are coming without considering and looking into the aspects of our states. So this should not be there. A state which is more than double the size of Kerala and half the population of Kerala and having a same topography and climate like Kerala, which can produce enough things, food grains, plantation crops, other things. Why they were not able to produce that? Why they are not able to feed their people at least? So this is a very serious situation, and this kind of a development is a problem. So strengthening the states are very important. So the central government's policy, which is advocating for privatization of our all things, that is also to be discussed. Earlier it was monetization. Now they are saying that the national monetization, earlier it was demonetization. Now it was national monetization policy. Both are coming, demonetization and monetization. And they are selling out. They are advising us to sell it out. And we ask, when they are going to sell some of the prime properties, like our Trivandrum airport, we said, Government of Kerala is ready to pay whatever the private company is giving. They are not ready to give it to us. Now the Hindustan Latex, which is a profit-making company, all over the country, some units are there. We said, we can take it, we will pay the money. They said, no, government will not be allowed. I don't know, what is the policy which is driving them? Airport, other parts. So we have the experience of Neyveli lignates. There is a strong fight to be with the government. Earlier, it was a story. So demonetization to monetization, advising the entire thing to be sold out. This is not for the people, so we have to campaign among the people. One thing, earlier panel when it was discussing, all these things are there, but why popularly we cannot teach the people? That is the basic question. That is the basic question. The credibility we have to develop, because this is, of course, this is not ruling party, governments are, leaders are not representing. We have to say that this is our alternative, we are going with this and we are fighting for this, and this is for the interest of the people. The international situation also we can show, and that united action should be there. We will be with that for the interest of the people. Kerala, as part of the Left Democratic Front government, we will be with this movement for the interest of the people. That is what I want to say. Thank you again for giving me this chance. Thank you.